My mom was the same way. So she ran in high school, and I was just like, Mom. She was like, I ran. I was just like, you got my track speed from me. I was just like, she was like, but I can watch the Olympics. So she was like, even like when I was a baby, she was like, she would watch the Olympics, and I was just like, wow. But now like we sit and watch the entire. She watches everybody. And I'm just like,
you have to.
You really
like,
do. You really do.
You know, and then like when I watch the Olympics, like I watch all of track, not just the Olympics. But when I watch the Olympics, I'm like watching these other like sports, like and the stories in the different countries. It is like the best time.
I love it because it really doesn't compare. I feel like Olympic sports like in a whole don't compare to the footballs. Like football, only America knows that.
Yes.
It really feels like
yes.
We can't go across and talk about that, but I can run around a track anywhere and
yes.
jump, and then a guy will see me and be like, wow, like
yes.
me and you have something in common that I do, so it's just like
exactly. Even if the languages are different, you speak that long jump language.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, let's get started.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Come on, let's go on a journey. Sit back, buckle up, enjoy the ride with Crystal Petry.
Hello, my name is Crystal Petry. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of the Crystal Petry Podcast. On today's podcast, we're going to learn all about the long jump and the long jump in the Olympic trials specifically. Kenson Tate is joining us today. I feel like I made it, y'all. I feel like I made it. Kenson Tate is on my podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. We have been kind of back and forth trying to, secure a date, so I'm glad we were able to work this out. So how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I had a workout this morning trying just to get things out the way for this because I'm very excited to do this because this is on my bucket list, and once I was able to get this knocked in on my calendar, I was like, let's go, and I was able to text coach and get this all set up. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. And thank you so much for telling me that. I'm so glad I was able to check off something on your bucket list. Okay, so you did the long jump at the Olympic trials in 2024. Please tell me, how was that experience?
The trials experience was probably an experience I'll never forget and never probably experience again. I'm going to say that because I'll never be this young and doing it.
Right.
And going there, being 21 at a young age, you're seeing Will play people that I've not looked up to, but almost I've watched those people, jump in college when I was in middle school and in high school coming up. It's just like, wow, those are the big dogs that I used to, watch. But not to a fact to where I blew it up so much, but just trying to stay where I am, like, and true to myself, because that's really who I am, and I'm not someone that really looks up to so many people. I have my favorite all-time athlete is probably Jesse Owens, and that's a long time ago, so it's just like, those are stars that I'm looking way, way beyond. So, Carl Lewis is a great athlete, but he was a great athlete, but it's just like, I want to do better than that.
Yeah.
And so
it started with Jesse.
It did. So that's when, and I want to be, the start and the end. So that's what really, drives me. But just seeing them in that situation, that position, it was really cool. Myself, I would say being there, it was not a deer in the headlights, but it was a little surreal because I wanted this, but it was just like, I came off injury last year, it's just like, wow, we're here. And it happened so fast. The season went by so fast, and it was just, we were in indoor, and I hit the mark to get me in there, and then it seemed like we were already at the trials. And just being on the runway, it's just like, we're here, and just realizing that we want to do as best as we can. And I had it all in there, and it was just like, you want to do so great, but it's just, you have to be okay with what's going on, and being aware of like, hey, these people, maybe be their last time, doing this. This is my first time going around doing this. So it's just like really just soaking up everything that I could and having the experience of a newbie, so I can, the next time I'm a pro. I'm doing this. I won't have to, I can be to myself. I won't have to be in the crowd and seeing, oh, where's mom and dad? I know mom and dad in the crowd. The crowd, it's thousands of more people that I'm used to. I won't have to worry about it. So it's just, I can be a professional going into it the next time. So I was really just letting myself be a kid and just kind of soak it up. Yes.
And you know what? I feel like, and of course I have never, been to the Olympic trials, but I feel like when people get to that place and get to the Olympics, they don't allow themselves to like soak it in.
Yes.
They're so busy like, okay, training and, warming up and making sure I hit my mark or I hit my time, that you don't have a chance to just sit back and enjoy.
Yes.
All of the other stuff is needed.
Yes,
You're supposed
definitely.
to be doing all of those things. But also take it in, absorb the moment.
You have to enjoy the journey.
Yes.
Yes.
So the Olympic trials in 2024 was in Oregon.
Yes, ma'am.
Where were you when you hit the mark?
When I hit the mark to
make it
to Oregon,
yes.
we're gonna have to go back to January.
January 2024?
January 2024,
Okay.
indoors at U of H.
Okay.
We jumped 802. That's 26.2, 26.3, and that's a really big jump. And I was the first time I jumped 8 meters, first time I ever jumped 26. And I was just jitters and everything.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So just experiencing that with my coach, he was just like, this is, the start of the road that you've been asking for. And I'm just talking to him, and I was just like, I want to be great. And he's like, you're the only person standing in front of you. And he tells me that. So that's just me and Coach Sonny's thing. Like, he challenges me to be better. And it's almost like I'm Hercules. And he tells me that. He's just like, you can do it. And I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
So then I just go out there, and he just, you put the goal in front of me, and I knock it out. And he's just like, now I think you can be an 8 meter jumper. You show me. In the very next jump, I jump 8 meters. And it's just like, and it was just like, after that, the season began to, go. I went to the indoor nationals. I didn't perform as well as I wanted to, but being also there, coming off that injury, not having the competition in a whole year, and it was really hard, just trying to be mentally to myself, it was, I got into a place, but coming back and making it to indoors nationals, that was really big, and having it on my resume. Making it to outdoor nationals was really big. Also going through the trials and regionals, and that was not hard, but it puts a toll on your body.
Okay.
And that's really cool. So it's just being smart about that, and that's also just being young. I have to figure that out. Like, my body is, you only get one of these, so you gotta watch out for it.
You gotta take care of it.
So I'm just like, we take those 3 jumps and we make sure my body's feeling good. But we get to nationals and we become an All-American. That's really good, but the goal is to become a national champion. And that's this year, that is the goal. And that, we don't want to hang it up so high, but we're working every day. And I love to work just to, put it out there, because I feel like I can do it. The trials was only the tip of the iceberg. So let's go do it all.
So what was your jump at U of H, which is University of Houston, that secured your mark to make it to the Olympic trials?
802.
It was
8
802.
meters, and that was 26.3, like I said. It was pretty far.
Yeah.
And that was...
Was that your first jump, your second
Yeah,
jump?
I think that was the 3rd jump of the, prelims. And, the first jump was a really good jump, and we were like, we're kind of spicy today. And the next jump, he was like, I think you can jump 8 meters. You think he was like, I think you can do it. He was like, the only person is stopping you is you. And I walked back and I just let everything go. I started clapping. It's just like, we are moving off the board. You knew it was 8 meters, and you can see the small critiques in the finishes. And he was like, you did all of this at the end kind of, wrong. You had some, it's never perfect, So you did all of this and still jumped 8 meters. Like, you know how much more you have left in the tank, so it's just like, it's really the tip of the iceberg. And it's so
Did
cool.
you know in that moment that you didn't?
No, I didn't. I probably didn't learn with that mark until Texas Relays. That was the first kind of outdoorish meet.
Okay.
I jumped 26 again there, and then we talking, he's just like, I think you're in some high standards. I'm like, what you mean? He was like, that after I jumped 802 the first time, I had been ranked the first time ever in the world. I was ranked 5th, and that was really cool. And it was for a couple of weeks, but it was a really cool experience. Yeah, when you can look on World Athletics and see your name, I was like, that's pretty cool. And my dad's just texted me. He was like, my coworkers are sending me your I'm like, look, you better not be over there. I was just like,
listen, that's a flex.
yes, and he soaks it up. I'm like,
Yes.
you take it all in, because I'm not gonna do it. I'm just trying to be so humble about it, but it's a really cool experience, and just.
So did your coach tell you that?
Yes, so that was the conversation.
How did he tell you? Was he like calm? Like,
Yeah, so
by
but
the
he
way.
was like, I think we're gonna try something. But we don't want to put too much emphasis on it, because we have such a long season ahead of us.
Right.
So just not putting it in the back of my head, but just storing it back there. But just if you need a little pick me up, you're gonna try.
Yes.
So it's just, it was really cool.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And I know I keep saying that, but I'm so excited for you.
Thank you for this. Thank you.
Wow.
Just the experience to be able to speak about it.
Yes. So let's go back to the childhood. What started you wanting to be in track and field, and specifically the long jump?
So I'm originally from Zachary, Louisiana. I graduated from Zachary High. Born and raised, my two lovely parents, Lillian and Kenson Tate. I have an older brother, and he's 5 years older than me. We'll get into his maybe 13th birthday. I'm just out there with all his friends, and my mom's like, "You want to go run?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're racing in the road. I'm just like,
I remember those days.
Look, them back in the days.
Yes.
So she was just like, "Go get in there." I'm like, "All right, bet." So I line up right next to my brother, and he runs, he's winning, and I'm right up on him, but I'm beating a couple of his friends, and she's just like, "You want to run track?" And I was just like, "Track." All we knew was football, and my brother played football. I played football. I was playing flag football, and I had speed, and everybody knew I was fast, but it was like track was like, that's all you do is run. The next summer, that upcoming summer, my brother's birthday was in March. My birthday's in April. By May, I was at track practice.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. And it was the start of something new. Like, it was really cool. I went to my first practice, and it was run the first lap, and I'm just like, all right. We get back to practice. We get back to coach, and I'm just like, again, and he was like, no, you got to stretch now. And I'm just like, we get through everything, and now he's showing me how to get to blocks, and just my body already understood, like, you're pushing out of these blocks. Like, this, this isn't just here just to,
Right.
Yeah, so it's just like my body was already called to this. So it's like, God, this is God. And then my first year I did long jump. My cousin long jump, and I watched him long jump. He's a year older than me, and he was pretty good. And it was just like, the next year he didn't compete at all. So I was just like, I think I want a long jump. My mom was just like, okay. So the following year we switched teams, and they had a really good long jumps coach, and she was like, nah, I think you'll be really good because you have the speed. And she was like, I can teach you how to jump. After that, she showed me how to jump. My first year I went to Junior Olympics.
No, you didn't.
Yes, in long jump.
No.
I played 7th, and I was All-American. So that was, my mom was just like, okay, we got a jumper. And we find out my uncle has actually, he went to Louisiana Tech, Kenson Tate. He long jumped, and after that, he's been probably my mentor, just showing me great tools just to have my toolbox, just to continue to do and go and have a great, successful career.
Wow. So what moment, I would assume, is when you made it to the Junior Olympics, but what moment specifically were you like, you know what, I'm going to take this serious?
I guess I would always, like, that moment, making it to Junior Olympics, I always took it serious. But I guess the eye-opener that I could really, that Kenson Tate can do it, was my senior year in high school, regional meet. We're going, so we'll go first jump, we're at Catholic High in Baton Rouge. I scratched the first jump, and I'm going in number one jumper. I have the mark. I have the previous week I had PR, jumped 23, I think 5. And that was a pretty good mark, and I was probably, ranked top 50 in the country. It was really cool. But I was just like, all right, cool. So we go into the next meet, regionals. I scratched the first 2 jumps. I'm at the runway on the last jump, and I'm just like, I have to get a mark unless senior year is done.
Wow.
Too early. So I jumped literally 2 feet behind the board, jumped 21.10, gets me in the finals. I'm the first jumper in finals. the first jump, I jumped 24:10 and a half.
What?
My dad hears me marking. He's like, whoa. And I'm like, and I was just smiling, like I'm stuck. And I'm just looking at him and smiling. He's just like, come on. I was just like, he's just like, walk it off. So, and it's just, after that, you know, my body just begins to, the jitters flow.
Mm-hmm.
So, we go into the next jump. I scratched by a toe.
No.
They still mark it for me. I jumped 25, and that would have been the best high school mark in the country. What? And it was that. I started to cramp. I'm a very, you know, I need the water, and in high school I didn't realize it, but I started to cramp, and I was in high school. Then I was running the 4x2, 4x1, so I was just, you know, just taking a break. He was like, "Look, you won.
Yes.
Do you want to still go?" And I was just like, "We'll save it for state." And state was the next week, and I was just getting ready for that. I didn't do good in state. Well, I won state. I didn't PR as I wanted to, but
you won.
It was it was a blessing.
Yeah.
I need to take that back, but I didn't do as well as I wanted to. The state record was 25-2. I really wanted it, and it wasn't in the cards, and it's all right. After that, I signed to Lamar, but after jumping 24:10, it was on the bus ride. Just my phone was just like going off.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, like I think we kind of put ourselves on the map, and not only did it did something for, you know, the social and the media, but it kind of did something to me because I'm very hard on myself. Like I need to see the product, I need to see the results, but at that moment in life, I needed to see it. And I was young, and God was, you know, able to provide. But now I'm like, I'm able to know now in my life that, you know, the results aren't the most important thing right now. It's not the Olympics right now. At the Olympics, that's when it needs to be the priority. So just realizing that and understanding that, it's been a really that was the start of the journey, and understanding that it's been great. Like, yes.
So you signed with Lamar University, located in Beaumont, Texas. Why did you choose Lamar University?
So after I jumped 24:10, well, we'll go back into the senior year indoor.
Okay.
So I've been jumping maybe 21. I pop a nice 22. I start to get the offers, the calls, and Southern calls. That's from Baton Rouge, Northwestern, out of Natchitoches, Southeastern, out of Hammond. We get UNO, New Orleans, Lamar calls, and everything just starts rolling. And you hearing you look good. We see your stats. You look like a great athlete. I think you'll be a great fit. But I get on the phone with Coach Sonny. That's the long jump coach here at Lamar. That's the first person I ever talked to at Lamar. And he just gets on the phone, and we just have a conversation. And it's not even about track. It's not about jumps. It's just, how you doing? I'm just like, wow. Like, I'm a person first. And I was very blessed to hear him talk to me like that. I was just like, I'm a person. And then he talks to me, and he asks me, like, how do I feel like? How do I see myself as a jumper? Do I see myself as a technique jumper? Am I doing everything correctly? Or am I just raw talent? And I told him I'm raw talent. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And that was,
and you're in high school.
And I was in high school.
Yes.
I had Coach Cleve. He was a great coach, and he went to LSU, and just the things that he taught me, they were good things for me at that level. My brain could only take in so much. And that's what you have to understand. I feel like as an athlete, like, the attention to detail has to, you know, change as you continue to go up in a level. And I think I've done that, and that has probably propelled me to go further and further, and blessed me to go to the Olympic trials, because my attention to detail has shaved like milliseconds every time my competition level goes up. So that's probably one of the best things, and I can thank God for that. But that's probably one of the things that and Coach Sonny's helped me realize that. But Lamar, just signing that, he made me feel like me, and I was just able to be me and tell him that I don't have it all figured out, and I need help. Like, I need to teach me, and he was, I got you. I'm ready to teach you. Yeah. But just to hear that he could do that, and no other team or no other school was, you know, pushing I'm putting you first, Kenson, but just to hear that, and it was really, it felt like home, and it was crazy. But just to sign that scholarship, my mom and dad were right next to me. My brother was there, and they all went through with my brother, so they understood, you know, when I get to do this, it was a blessing. Just
yes.
to, it was really cool, really cool.
How do you balance, Kenson, the pressure to perform at such a high level continuously?
It's hard, and it's a lot of prayer because I don't think I have it figured out yet, and I don't. But just going into competition, not trying to worry about what Kenson is going to do,
right?
And just when I think about it, expect Kenson to do great, and when Kenson gets in the moment, he'll do it. So that's what I kind of put myself in the third person because I'm not there, and me in body and soul, I'm not there, and that's what in the past I used to do. I used to put myself in the competition months and weeks before the competition even started. Right. So I knocked myself out of the competition before it started. So now growing to understand that I'm not there. So don't worry about it. Train for it. If you feel like you're not ready for it, then that's something that you don't feel comfortable with your training. So I had to, I brought my attention to detail up a little bit higher in training just to, be okay when it comes to competition time that, hey, I've done this months, weeks ago, 10 times harder. I put myself through it a little bit harder so the competition is easy almost. So that's really...
Let's talk about your preparation for the Olympic trials.
Okay.
When is the indoor-outdoor season completely done and then you start preparing for the Olympic trials? What is that? Is that May?
So we'll start an indoor season, first meet January, but we'll start training for that, start school in August and have that whole fall period just to, get going and get the summerness out, but also not start from 0 to 100, but work up as it's an incline. It can't just be a straight line. So just doing that and getting into the indoor season in January, that'll probably last you until maybe middle of March, maybe February. So first meet, outdoor meet, maybe end of March, and then you're getting into your heat. So that's what you really want. You need your heat, so that's just waiting on that. That's the main thing, because you don't want to run in the cold.
Right.
It's hard. And so just going through March, April, May, June, May probably start getting into I would say my Olympic season or my postseason, because I can also be looking for nationals or regionals, and then getting into the championships and stuff like that with your Olympics. But really maybe May, June, and trying to focus in and harness in my body just with the training regimens and a cycle, because you don't want to have too much weightlifting, in that end of that season, because you know what I mean. But now in the early part, I'm doing a lot of that, and I'm trying to be buff, and as this Christmas season comes around, take that lean out, and then get into the outdoor season. Okay.
So so you start preparing for the Olympic trials in May, June. What is a typical day for preparation for the Olympic trials?
So that maybe I would say that week, getting right before the meet, it was speed, a little and eating was maybe light, but I try not to change too much because I'm young and my body's changing. So I don't think I should change too much, and I'm used to so much, and I feel like I can pop like that. It's not too much of a point to where I have to do this for everything to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a routine just so yet for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe later in life, yes, definitely.
Yes.
But not wanting to change too much. If even I want to eat a sweet here and there, not forcing myself to stop, but making sure you're flushing that out. Maybe not a cold drink, but I can do a Laffy Taffy. I can do that, but not changing too much. And training weekend, the closer you get, you want to be less weight, more speed. So just to have your body fresh for that, you know what I'm saying, so you can fly. So you don't want to be too wet, too heavy. But
so you spoke a little bit about your diet. So what kind of, and I know we don't use the word diet anymore, so what is kind of your lifestyle as far as eating in preparation for the Olympics?
I would say we do a lot of carbs. We do a lot of, carbohydrates, but we eat. I don't discriminate. I love to eat red meat. I eat the lasagna, but I love everything. So just watching my portions and not doing too much.
Okay.
Because that's my main thing. I don't want to sit around bloated because then I can start to be adding fat. But now if I'm eating, I feel like the right things and not doing too much of it, I'm okay. Because, like I said, I'm still young. I'm not doing too much. I'm kind of like a Chad Ochocinco, and I'm free with it, So
yeah, he talks about it.
McDonald's,
McDonald's,
look, he goes with it. He goes with it, but he had to stop because Cincinnati lost. So
yeah. What would you say was the most challenging part about getting ready for the Olympic trials?
Probably going back to Oregon, just being so far, but I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring out that you got to get on the plane, you got to go travel, you have to pack and be ready. It's not gonna be I'm at home, I can catch my bus, I can have my snacks, I can sleep in my bed, I can be in my space, but wherever I am, I'm just trying to make that my space. I bring my game, I bring the stuff that I'm used to at home, so just to keep me in the space that I'm in, that I'm usually always in. I don't want to change too much. And that's,
What is your headspace? What are you thinking about when you are on the track getting ready to run and do your jump? Are you thinking of anything?
Definitely. But it's quick and then you try to turn it off because you don't want to think too much. And I learned that in the indoor season. I thought a lot coming off injury, just am I okay? Can I do this still? Can I pop it? It was a lot, but having that mental thought, but also just being like, all right, you got it. You putting yourself here. You can do it. It's not the first time.
Yeah.
So also just cutting my mind off has been a big thing because, like I said before, I'm the only person standing in front of me doing the best that I can do. So just kind of standing there, getting out the way now and letting my body just go has probably been the best thing.
What does success look like for you? I know, most athletes, it's the jump, it's the time, but for you personally, what does success look like?
For me, it's soaking up the entire stadium. The fans, the competitors, the officials, and that's probably me. I don't go to a track meet without speaking, without being being me, because at the end of the day, that's what's going. If I try to put on this mean competitive face, I'm gonna change my whole way I'm going. But I'm the person that soaks up and uses the energy of the crowd, starts to clap and gets things and energy going. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think and see success as, because it's not just my success. I feel like everybody should experience and can experience, you know what I'm saying? So when I do the big jump, we're all excited. And now the next person can go do something. So not just me, but everybody being involved, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. How has your family supported you and guided you in this massive journey of making it to the Olympic trials?
It's been really cool, and calling my mom Momager now has been funny. And she's like, I'm not ready for that, but she is. I think she's getting ready, but it's a different role now. But they have stepped up and been great, and this is nothing new. We've been a sports family our whole life, but now kind of putting the professional behind it is kind of really cool. And my mom and dad are both taking it really serious for me. They want me to be able to experience this and be able to live my life, but I'm allowing them to live through me. And they don't want to, but I want them to, because they've invested their entire lives into me and my brother, and I think it's so cool. And I talk to them, I'm like, this is y'all's product. This is not me. Y'all have on some days told me to get up and work out, and I didn't want to, and it's paid off, and I appreciate that. It's okay to want to tag along, and I'm always telling them, come on, I don't want. They tell me all the time, I don't want to rain on your parade. No, I want mom to come eat with us and come experience, because that's what I'm used to. I'm used to before me eating my mama, talking to my dad on the phone, you know, praying with them and just laying in the bed and just telling them that I'm a little nervous, but I'm, you know, they're like, Kenson, you done did this 10 million times. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. I'm not nervous. And it's just like, they've been great. And my brother has been great. Kenan, I think him already playing college sports has helped him, you know, see more. And he's just helped me see that this is a business and he knows how professional, you know, athletics works, but he has seen the top, you know, and he's also seen the bottom, and he has, you know, just helping me, you know, go through it and navigate what's good and what's not too good. And so I love it, and I'm so thankful for him. They've been very good.
Now, your brother, I know, you know, going way back when you first was racing against him, he was playing football. So did he go on to play football at the collegiate level?
Yes, ma'am. He played at Southern University in Baton Rouge. I'm trying to think of the years he graduated high school. That was maybe 2018 to 2022, maybe 2021. But that was just really cool. Waking up on Saturdays and being like, I can go see a college game for free, and just sitting in a fan section and stadium is packed and band is going. It's really cool. Like, I've experienced a lot of different things, and I've had to go to playing college football, and he's had the opportunity to give me that goal and showing me that. So now I'm able to be like, I've experienced that. Now I can run track and be okay with what I'm doing.
Yes, absolutely. What would you say is the difference between a good long jump and a great long jump?
The patience. So there's times the jump has not been as good as people think, but the audience's eye is fooling. If the time in the air can make, you know, someone think that he jumped out the pit, but it can be not as far. But when you mix that with speed, it goes. But when you are only speed and it finishes so fast, you know, you think, oh, it's done. Right. So just time in the air, it's funny with the eye, I feel like, with the audience, because you really have to, you know what the long jump is. So it's tricky, but, you know, maybe to a person, you know, seeing someone in the air for a really long time. Yeah. Me, and that's probably one of the really cool things that I do. I love to hang and just sit in the air, and people, when I get out the pit, that's not a good one, but I can fix it up and coach. You know, you spend a lot of time in the air. Yes, but you have to mix that in with the speed and knowing you need the both and. You know, you need the explosion, but you also need the quickness of it, you know. Okay. So I feel like that's what makes you great, knowing that you need them both, you know. So that's what I figured out, and that's what has propelled me. So
yes. So we were talking earlier before I even turned on the cameras that I'm a track fan. Yes. Like, I love it. And so I've always wondered this, so I'm so glad I'm sitting with you and I can ask this. When you are jumping, like, your natural instinct is to put your hands behind you, like to catch the fall. That's the natural bodily instinct. But long jumpers don't do that, obviously, because if you put your hands behind you, that's where they mark it. That's where they mark it. How do you learn and train yourself to go against, like, naturally putting your hands behind yourself to catch yourself?
Track is, like, I think, the most mental sport there is. You have to, you're blocking out so many things to get something accomplished. It's crazy. But drills get things done. Okay. So there's a drill. You put a towel and you hold it up here, but you bring it through. And the towel is going to keep everything together. So that's what you want to finish and scoop. So you'll be here. Yeah. So that'll be no hand, no falling back. But yes, that is probably in the beginning. I was officiating earlier. I got hurt my sophomore year. That summer I kind of did a little bit of officiating and just watching, little kids just do that. It was like, that is really easy to do. And I'm just like, but if you do this, you're okay. So you just, it's kind of like a tuck and pull in and squeeze. Okay. So everything is just all tight together. But yes, drills will get it done. Yes.
Like, how
I
do they do that?
Look, I can get you a couple of drills going on. We can fix it. We can fix it. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. So how was it working with the little kids?
That's probably the thing that I've opened up to see that I think I want to coach and be influential to the youth and younger people. And I think that's what I see in everybody. I see little me, and I have pictures of me everywhere of just the old long jumper that I used to be, the kid that I was, and it's just like, am I making him happy? And I know he is so happy, but that is, I think, something that I will pursue on top of my engineering career, and that just, I think I want to do a little bit of coaching, because I feel like track is something that in America we have very good genes. We're very, good athletes, but across the seas, they're great with fundamentals. Their fundamentals are impeccable.
I feel like that's the same for every sport: basketball, football, soccer,
they come over,
track.
Like, they can do it. They know how to lay it. They can shoot. They can do it. But we may have the better grit to go get it. So that, I think, if I can show people and help young athletes, unlock the technique earlier, they can be so much better further down the line.
Yes.
If I was able to, and I had great coaches to bring out the work ethic that I have in me, but I could have had that later. But now that I'm now getting the technique, it's hard to break those old habits. It's so hard. But now it's helping me, but it's hard. But now seeing that and talking to athletes from overseas, and they're just like, y'all are better athletes from this, but y'all have better technique. But which would you rather? So now it's just like understanding that you want both but you have to take what you have in your blessing. So I want to be able to be a resource to the youth and help propel.
Right. What would you tell young Kenson? Like, what is your advice for when he first is running and making it to the Junior Olympics? Now in your 20s, what would be your advice for him then?
Probably my advice for my younger me, and probably any kid, is keep going. Like, at a young age, I kind of hit a wall, and I kind of got to a point where I didn't want to do it anymore. But it was just like watching myself push through it and go through it. It was really cool, and I remember the time just sitting out in my yard, just like, it felt like I didn't want to do it, and I didn't even know what that feeling was, but understanding that I felt that way as a kid, and I was able to let that go. And now, growing into as a young adult, it's easy when I'm going through a workout and I'm just like, I'm not trying to do this right now. Finish it, go through it, just get it done, because you don't know when this can be done. And now I feel like going through injury, I wanted to be able to work out, and I couldn't. So just being appreciative of everything that is in front of me has been a really big thing to understand.
I think so many people, and I know we're specifically talking about the Olympic trials with the long jump, but so many people, I feel like, have that mental block of, I just don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to go to work, I don't want to go to school, I don't want to go to class, I don't want to go to practice. Yes. But
you have to. That is a mental block that just, I feel like my generation is hitting like really hard. Just being okay with being mediocre. Like, you have to want to strive to do better and be 1% better than you were yesterday. And that's the only person that you can be in competition with is yourself. And just trying to do better than what I was yesterday and what I was before. Just, striving to be on a better path and stay on the straight and narrow.
What has Lamar University, the environment here, how has that helped in your success as a long jumper?
It's really kept me humble, because Lamar, I wouldn't say is the most media-ist team or most well-known, campus there is. So it's just like the people that I know on campus, I can call them right now. And that's just like, it's really cool, but it's just like, that's maybe the whole campus. But it's humbling because I'm not at the Power Fives. I'm no better than anybody here. And I see that. I understand that. I'm not, trying to get out of a class because I don't want to be there, because I don't want to be next to them because I'm better than them. Nah. Like, I've chose to go here, so now I want to be able to experience with all my student body and experience, and also get to know my student body. Like when I came back on campus after coming from Charles, I was ready to be back on campus with students and tell them that yes, I'm here, but I'm here with y'all, and I want to be here with y'all. So let's bring up campus. Let's bring up different things. Let's make Lamar somewhere that everybody wants to be. Because I want to be here. So yeah.
What advice would you give someone that wants, because Lamar University, as you said, it's a smaller college. It's not a Power 5 or anything like that, but it is a D1 school.
Yes, definitely. You gotta we're elite.
You gotta put some respect on that. And I'm an alumni, so I'm like, put some respect on our name. What advice would you give someone in high school that's looking to be a long jumper at a D1 college?
With the settlement change, so much is going on. So just the opportunity, if you get the opportunity, definitely take it. But also understand that it's a job. And if you want to be good, okay, or great, it's totally up to you. And the ball is in your court. And it starts freshman year, because everybody that I've seen do it it's been doing it from day one. They didn't hit the switch from the middle and I want to be great now. Nah, they were great from the get go. And my freshman year, I was blessed enough to go to national, my outdoor year. I didn't do the 2-peat now that I'm doing now, but it's things I had to realize to figure out. But my freshman year, I was the outdoor. It's a bigger pool, so I was able to do that. But the indoor, it's no regionals, so it's top 17 out of the country. But now, as a sophomore, junior, I'm able to say that I'm top 17 any day of the week. like, that's great. But going through the start and realizing that it's growth to this, and not, it's growth, but at a point to I'm not gonna stop my work. I'm not gonna stop like my goal, my drive. I'm still gonna be the best that I can be. My 100, I'm gonna be my 100. But if my 100 doesn't get me to the top right now, that's okay, and I have to understand that. But that's not me. I'm not gonna give it. I'm still gonna give it. I'm still gonna keep going to try to be the best. Because when it's my time to be the best, and that time that I didn't go 100, it's gonna catch up, and I feel like that karma is always gonna come. So I'm just always standing on my A game, and when my time is coming to put the medal around my neck, I'll be ready for it, and I can do it. So
What about parents? What advice? Because you are, in my eyes, you're a superstar.
Thank you.
You're a superstar. What advice would you give parents training their children, or how do they support? Because you hear about the parents that are too pushy, or you hear about the parents that are maybe too lackadaisical. How does a parent train or support a superstar athlete?
Definitely praying, just and being there for them. That's what my parents did. Also, just understanding that if you didn't do this before, understand that, and give them the time that they need. If they, are a little tired, you may not be used to that tiredness. My mom and dad were fortunate enough to understand that, he's a little tired today. I understand that. But be understanding, be the helping hand, and don't be the person that, because I feel like in the world we have so much hate already. So be the love, be the love for that superstar. And that superstar is only going to grow. And like I did, my parents, just loved on me so much, and I wasn't perfect, and they, spared the rod when it was time. And I feel like that's what, made me the man that I am today. But the person that I am is from love. They have loved on me and shown me that if you do this, and that's not even in track, that's outside. If you make good grades, you get a full scholarship, not only because of track, because you're a smart person in the classroom. We'll do this for you. We'll be able to buy you nice things. You work and buy yourself your own nice things. So just being able to be a good example and showing me that what they're doing I want to also be them. And also on top of being a professional athlete, I want to be like my parents. And that's probably the best thing that they've done, like been great role models in my life and in our life, me and my brothers.
Excellent, excellent. So you are an engineer major here at Lamar University. You're also superstar long jumper. How do you balance the two? Because engineer major, so Lamar University is top in the nation for the engineering degree. So obviously you are very smart.
Yes, ma'am.
Have to stay on your butts, classes. How do you balance the two?
My freshman year, I was really able to balance them, just coming in and had the help. It was maybe my sophomore year, I kind of got into the real engineering, the stuff. I got into some injury, and that kind of put me into some mental, depression. So just figuring that out. But in that moment, just figuring out that what I give, just like in track, what I give into school is what I'm going to get out of it. And I really didn't understand it in high school, because in high school, very smart. I was able to just get in and get out.
Right.
I was able to get my A's. I didn't take probably any final exams at the end of the year because
you tested out?
I tested out, and it was just great. My mom and dad never checked up on me for my homework, so it was just like I was always able to, I had it. It was done. But in college, I was just like freshman year. I was very soon to realize that the no studying and the just getting by ain't gonna cut it. It's not gonna cut it.
Yeah.
So it was just those A's quickly turned into C's, and I was just like, I don't like those. So it was just like, what I put in is was gonna come out. So my sophomore year, learning that, I was able to take a step back from the engineering, start at minor, and then work the both of them. So now it's in my senior year, it's really good. So understanding that what I put in that vending machine is what I'm trying to get out of it. Yeah, so it was really cool, and being able to tell freshmen coming in that go to class, but not only go to class, pay attention.
Yes.
Like we say, just go to class so you can have that attendance grade. No, you're finna get that degree. Pay attention, and I mean, I've learned in engineering, and when I get on a job, some of this may change, and I'm okay with that, but they're still understanding that I went to class and I was able to sit down and listen to a professor for this amount of time. And that degree, that paper that's what it says, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So if it shows somebody that, and eventually I want to be able to look at somebody else's resume and be like, look, you sat into this and I understand what you're doing, so no.
Yes. When you were at the Olympic trials in 2024, did you meet anyone famous? Did you walk up on anyone?
I'm not the, I guess I'm gonna say, fanboy type to go run up to anyone. I was looking for a few athletes, me being a good competitor, I love to see competition. I was looking for Quincy, and I was able to, see him. I didn't really speak to him.
And that's the 16-year-old, right?
That is a 16-year-old.
Yes.
That was amazing. Just to see his athleticism, and that's just is great. But watching Noah warm up was probably the biggest thing, and just seeing the dog, like he's different, and it may be a persona, but it may be not. I haven't figured it out yet, but I like it for him, and but just to see what he's doing and the way he prepares for it, you can tell he's a technician. You can tell he's professional. And just to see Sidney McLaughlin warming up, and just to see how they carry themselves, and that's like soaking up the entire facility. It's really cool. And I was just like, from the moment they walk in the gate to the moment they get on the track to when they come off the track to putting on the back of their warm up, it's just like, it's them. And my thing is, when I get to there, I don't want it to just be me. I want to have everyone with me, and I just can't wait for it. It's not just about me, and I want my family to be able to experience my coach, everybody. So it's just, when I get there, it will be my time.
It will be your time. So let's talk about that. So you made it to 2024 Olympic trials in the long jump. What are your plans going forward? Are you envisioning yourself going to the Olympics in 2028 in the long jump?
So I have 2 more years. I have this indoor season, this outdoor season. So that's 2 more track collegiate championships on top of the following year. I have an outdoor season. I won't get to indoor. So that's 3 more collegiate championships that I'll get before 2028. So I'm only looking for those to be exhibitions and milestones or stepping stones for that, 2028 Olympics. That is the big show. It's in the United States.
I know.
And it's probably really cool, and I wanted Paris really bad. And I wanted Paris really bad the year before. Getting up into it, just understanding that I had such a long year and understanding that I learned so much, I was able to realize. But now I have 4 more years to get ready for this and understand that you can do this and this is all for you. So now I understand what I can do, and this is gonna be a different journey. This is gonna be a different way how I do it. But I'm ready for it. And I'm definitely excited. But I'm definitely going to be there.
Yes. I love it. I love it for you. So do you want to become a professional long jumper?
I would looking for my company of choice right now, but it's in the cards, I think, definitely. So just taking my time in college and getting my degree for sure. So not rushing that and being ready for it, because I'm so ready to be done with school, but I'm gonna miss having everything paid for, hotels, and having a team and having the camaraderie. I love it, and I've had that my whole life. And when I get that professional, that level, it will be no more teams. It'll be Kenson, and it'll be a training group, but it won't be so much of a team. It'll be a small group, but things will change. But I'm ready for it. Next one, to put the big boy pants on, but it's okay. So I'm looking forward to it though.
What would it mean to you to make Team USA?
That would be next to me being drafted number 1, in the NFL.
Yes.
And I was, I've had goals my entire life, and I wanted to, play football. I wanted to run track and do both, but making Team USA, being professional in track would be my all-time, in my athletic career, just I did it, and I can be able to, tell the story to my kids and be able to, be paid for my gift from God. Is really cool, and I'm excited for it. And I don't want to, put any, I don't want to be I don't want to downplay this at all. I am so blessed for it, and I'm so grateful for God. I feel like a blessing, because when you can, use His gift and be paid for it, that's no matter the amount, and I can work after that, and I'm blessed.
Yeah, that engineering degree does not expire.
That's what Mama said too.
It does not expire.
Mama said too. She is, yes. She's go get that degree, girl. I got you. I promise. I got you.
As we get ready to wrap up this interview, Kenson, how would you say you're using your platform as, Olympic trials, All-American, national, these PRs? How are you using your platform to inspire the next generation of athletes?
I'm definitely using it, first off with the Word of God. I love to, definitely use that and let the people know that that's who is the head of my life, who has put everything in my life, and I'm blessed for it. But to also tell them that you need Him. I'm so sorry. You need Him in life, even if you're not even in athletics. But in track, you're going to be a little bit more closer to Him, on a different level, emotional, physical, and I try not to put my results on God's answers, and that's not that, but He will definitely show me some things through a workout, through a training, through just go do this and let your mind go. And just listen to me. Don't talk. Don't do anything, but just listen to what is going on around you. And all I'm doing is stretching. All I'm doing is trying to get a workout in.
Right.
And I've figured out now what I have to do. So it's just really cool. And just telling people that track is a hobby and a sport. So some people will do it for fun, but you know, I do it as I'm very competitive. When I go run, when I'm jumping, it's very hard for me to be playful about it. So I take it as a job and just telling people that you have to understand the boundary of it, because a lot of people don't understand. Like, you can go out and run a marathon and do those things, and that's A-okay, but those same people aren't putting on Team USA's, you know, uniform.
Right.
So just understanding, if you want to be at the top, it takes work. If you want it to be a hobby, it takes work too also, but it's not the same. But you can enjoy both, I promise you. You can enjoy being a professional, and it's not going to be the laughing as much as, you know, when it's with the everybody, you know, in the park, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to be the hard days, but when you're able to have that medal and have that success, I promise you it's going to be the same. I promise you.
And it'll be worth it.
It's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it.
Okay, so my final question for you. You have spoken highly about your relationship with God throughout this interview. How has your relationship with God changed or grown because of track and field?
It's definitely changed and grown because as a kid I was able to, you know, be brought up in the house of God, but understanding that workouts change, and as I got older, my word had to change. If I wanted to be a better athlete, I had to, you know, put in a little bit harder. I had to do what professionals were doing. If I want to be a professional Christian, I got to do what, you know, what the disciples were doing. Like, I have to stay in my word and be a vessel of Him. So that's just what I started to do as I grew, and it's opened doors that I can't even imagine. But just relating both, like in just to be able to step off the track and just be a man of God, but also be on the track and have that competitive spirit and ask God to let me still be humble but be competitive. But at the end of the day, I'm what you've created, and He has allowed me to showcase that, and people see it and understand that that's God right there, that He is working. Like, it's been a blessing though.
Excellent. Well, Kenson, I cannot thank you enough for being on my podcast. I feel like I didn't make it. No. You have. You definitely have. I got you on my podcast. Congratulations on all of your success. And I'm going to be the first to say congratulations, probably maybe the third or fourth after your family, to say congratulations on making it to the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are going to be there.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You are absolutely welcome. And thank you so much for tuning in and watching. You can get Kenson's podcast on YouTube Podcasts and Apple Podcasts. And remember, you always have time to listen and learn on the go.
Go on a journey. Sit back, buckle up, enjoy the ride with Crystal Petry.